Another brief one today. We're just gonna try and get out of the slightly bad situation that Clara is in stat-wise. That's really gonna be the main objective. So you can see we're really exhausted, and our infection is climbing pretty high. Do we have what I should do? We've got 9 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours. Look, we're gonna use this one. We're gonna use the Novocaine. I think should be the most useful in this circumstance, and then we'll sleep and we'll see. Yeah, so we're gaining a bit of health, but the infection, as you'll note, is chipping away here. Okay. All right, that's right. Still alive, and we just need to sort out food. Hey, Arsene, main, how you doing? Long time no see, I think. Can't remember what when I last saw you, but good to have you here. Capella's invitation. Come to the lump at once. Sneak into my chambers, no one will recognize you in the dark. We need to talk. I had a prophetic dream tonight, and you were in it. Terrifying calamity will happen tonight, and I have the feeling that you're the only one able to prevent it. Okay, so now we're going to go see Capella as well. But we do desperately need... so we'll have something to eat. So fortunately, the one benefit of Ruben making us run around in circles for food is that we did stock up on a bit extra. But still frustratingly, it took a lot of our resources, that one. But fortunately how are we doing now? Able to bounce back a bit. The infection's the main thing I'm worried about, because I haven't found any schmouters yet, and goodness knows I've tried, but sadly still nothing. I'm really hoping we find something soon, tomorrow at the latest, because otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be expensive to keep juggling this level of infection for the whole game. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You don't even have any bandages. Fine then. Be that way. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to see Capella, and then we need to... I suppose, I've got 13 lockpicks. This is day 5, end of day 5. So if I remember correctly, everything changes for the Changeling tomorrow. And it becomes much less certain. So right, we've had a pretty solid routine the last few days. I'm fairly certain it's tomorrow, but it might be the day after that the routine becomes upset. But again, it's been slightly too long since I've played through Changeling, which is why I'm really enjoying myself replaying it through again. It's been enlightening, because I didn't really, I sort of played Changeling, for the first time at the height of when I was obsessed, I am still obsessed, but when I was most obsessed with Pathologic, discovering it for the first time. But, I think also I was suffering from a small amount of burnout, or maybe just disappointment at the time, because it seemed lackluster in comparison.
Yes?
Okay. But rest assured, just to clarify, I don't consider it to be bad. Just lesser than in some instances. But so far, actually, it's surpassed my memory. I've been really enjoying Clara's campaign. So Clara, dear, the time has come for me to seek your help, and rest assured that this is a most solemn appeal, as befits a mistress addressing another. Do you know what that means? When a mistress seeks the help of a mistress, her rival and foe, can you fathom the force and the joy that breaks forth into the world when their hands touch? I can guess. Are you and I really mistresses, though? Can you really say something like that to me? Why joke like that? I had a dreadful dream last night. I saw a sinister creature come in the dark of night, a thing of the steppe, a Shabnak adder. She sneaked into the cathedral and killed everyone who was hiding in there. All around I saw the dead. suppose I probably should have read that out more dramatically, but the fact I've got a cold, I'm sorry. Well, it makes sense. Can't an infected person get inside? The probability is very small, but the Bachelor is the one who estimates the time since infection, for his own bigoted reasons. He has some diabolical term for it, the latent stage, something he needs to put in his reports to the capital. Should we really be afraid of your dream, then? I do not know if I should trust that dream. Maybe it was no vision. I'm not used to having those yet, and I cannot tell a dream from a dream. And the children wouldn't stop talking about the Shabnak adder to me. They have been told all those scary things. Is there any way we could verify that? Could you ask Maria if she's had the same dream? Maria hates me. Why don't you ask her yourself? If the dream is prophetic, it will destroy her, Bachelor. An envoy from the capital is arriving the day after tomorrow. Everything will depend on them. Maria will never go as far as to put her bachelor's success at risk, and I'll reward you. But why don't you want to write her a letter? She'll laugh at me. If I let her see that I doubt my own abilities, it will give her a great advantage. We're rival mistresses, and these are crucial days. The mistress that shows herself the most capable of all is the one that will be entitled to wield power. But what about me? Aren't you just throwing me under the bus? I'm still only their girl, but that will change. Try it regardless. The Canes don't think that bad of you. They always try to be intimidating. They like to dramatize everything. They enjoy striking up a pose. My dear, I'll reward you just for asking the question. If only you ask it on your own behalf. Please. Alright, I'll do it for you, but I'd only do it for you. Do you understand? Okay, how long we got? Not too long. Let's see if we can hustle there and back. See if we can get any more healing items on the way. I know there's not going to be any... The kids don't spawn outside at this time, so there's going to be no hope of Shmoudas, but I was contemplating trying to break into a house and seeing if there was anyone in there to trade. I might do that on the way back after I finish this quest. I certainly don't want to waste any additional time, but I do desperately need a Shmouda. Frustrating that the Bachelor was comparatively so lucky, getting enough Shmoudas and Panaceas bar one to get the best ending. We just got the powers that be extra scene. We didn't get the play. We didn't get access to the theatre last time, and judging by the way that this playthrough's RNG is going, I don't know if Clara will be able to see the theatre either, but that's alright. If need be, I can always go back. If people really wanted to see those, maybe one day I can go back and, we can just go into the scenes regardless. We can sort of force our way in. We can have a discussion about those, but I want to finish all 3 playthroughs first. This my playlist for this series is getting quite long, really. I think it must be somewhere upwards of 28 hours or something, which really is quite impressive by my standards anyway. Being able to have time to play anything on stream that much. Yes, it's it's a tough time of year to find time to stream. I was planning on getting started like an hour earlier today, but just the stuff I was working on just ran over time, which is unfortunate, but that's really, I guess, there's sort of no way around that. I'm glad I could still do at least a little stream.
I often feel like someone's looking at us from the other side.
The way her lips move in the animation is very strange. Nay, this is looking more and more like I will end up being friends with her. You are deranged, aren't you? I have some extremely important news. You cannot possibly have important news for me. You cannot possibly know something I do not. Capella has had a bad dream about a tragedy striking at the cathedral. Very soon, perhaps as we speak. Have you had the same dream? You are not a particularly strong mistress if you ask questions like this. You are doubting your claim. But I'm going to have to disappoint Capella. I did not sleep last night. I was in a lot of pain from that drug. I might have died, were I not who I am. So you don't know? I got no sleep because I was waiting for Simon's memory to recede. For some reason, he never turned up at the focus, neither today nor yesterday. This means Simon is still alive. But I will sleep tonight. Perhaps I will see my mother, and then I'll ask her your question, mistress. What if it is too late? Fine. Oh God, you're too much. Obviously you should go to Daniil, not to me. Or you're afraid of Daniil the demon. Then sneak in, he won't be at home anyway. Take the keys from the cathedral and go inside. If there is trouble, I'll find Daniil myself. Alright, I'll do everything you say, so you may understand who I really am. And what I like about this, obviously, is that if you choose to do this quest, it's really, it's setting you up as the culprit, particularly because I am legitimately infected, as you can see by the bar that has decided to appear worryingly at the top right of the screen. But what it does is it sets you up for this for the fall, basically, that Clara experiences, and it sets up the dualism quite well, because you're never sure if you're made to feel that you're never sure. Are you the good Clara, or are you the evil Clara? Or are there even two Claras? You don't know, and it's that. Pathologic works on ambiguity, but it works in such a way so as to not be sort of overly obfuscating. You don't sort of feel overly frustrated or annoyed, unless you're playing the original English translation, in which case you probably do. But I never found myself feeling particularly lost, just sort of really curious. No, Bachelor, don't give up. You've still got many days ahead of you. If I hadn't already heard, by extraordinary chances it happens, what a contradictory character you are, I wouldn't have waited for a trial and a verdict to fire a bullet at your tender heart. Dear me, why? It's quite a greeting. On suspicion of murdering Simon Kane, an immortal man. Did you know him? Speak. Immortal Simon, sometimes I think I did. I don't understand anything. We've met already, Dankovsky, but that's fine. I am Bachelor Dankovsky. Bear in mind that I'm indebted to the person whose death has made my life meaningless. If I find out you are involved, I'll make short work of you. Have pity, I'm frightened enough as it is. I need the keys to the cathedral. What would you need the keys to the cathedral for? Maria told me you had them. What? You and Maria talked to each other? Unbelievable. Maria denounced you as a changeling and said that if you came to her again, she'd have you thrown into the Gorkon to see if you'd sink or swim. Does this mean you've swum? No! So you sank. This makes you a non-witch. But then you must be a revenant, and I don't know which is worse. Interesting that the Bachelor seems to believe in witch trial logic here. Shame that the bullets in my revolver are leaden and not silver, but perhaps they'll do too. Bachelor, give me the key. Why don't any of you believe me? Why am I the only one you're ever suspicious of? Never. They wouldn't even let me in unless I walked into an infected district first. Then I'd have to spend the whole day inside. Those are the orders. Though it would be a good idea to check up on how they're doing water supply-wise. What with the new people arriving all the time. Not sure the water sources can handle the load. You've given me a great idea, Bachelor. Cool, so the Bachelor didn't have the key. He gave me an idea, though. If my gift provides me with influence sufficient to control the bound, can I possibly fail to persuade simple townsfolk? So we're going to just go and try the guards at the door. And I thought the Bachelor wasn't supposed to be home. Oh. Classic street fight going on here. I'll deal with this. So yeah, I hope everyone who's watching this is doing well. Whether it be now or later, even years in the future. HGA reaching out to you from the past or something. But no, it's just there's a lot that I want to do with the channel. I just found myself with very little time, but I hope that people have enjoyed the reviews that I posted the other day. Night at the Gates of Hell and Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. After I finish Pathologic or Yakuza, And I mean, the Yakuza playthrough is quite stalled at the moment. I'll talk about it more in a second. You're from an infected area. This place has been quarantined. Here's the rules. 12 hours indoors, regardless of time elapsed since leaving an infected quarter. We mark the time of your entrance. If you see someone inside with signs of illness, knock at once. Do not approach the infected person until they are escorted out by executors. No, I'm just a messenger. Do you perhaps need anything? Frankly, we could use some water. There's more people by the hour, and we're running short of spring water. People are thirsty. Have you got water? Bring us some. 20 flasks or so, the least you can do. Right, I'll be back with water. Hello, I've brought water. I'm so grateful to you, girl. Look into my eyes. What have you got here? Can I touch? Must be some dirt in my eye. I'm sorry. Maybe a piece of clay. I need to rub my eyes. Where are you? You don't see me. You haven't seen anyone, and you haven't heard my voice. What is this? The clay in my eyes won't go. Hey, who goes there? Who are you? Don't worry, it'll be alright. Let me through. This is just such a bad idea. And I remember this... Yeah, I do remember this scene in particular being really quite well done, just coming in and seeing this entire horde of townsfolk just sort of staring expectantly. It's perhaps the best representation of the townsfolk, I suppose, just seeing them all here like this, staring expectantly at you, at the player, to sort of solve their problems. Everybody basically totally passive. Though I think, oh no, it's not quite true. It's just the front ones, though, are the ones who play their animations. And here we go, so we get a letter. This is pretty good timing. So by this evening, I'm going to make a visit to the cathedral. They need me there, I feel, else the worst could happen. Where are you? What do you have on your mind? I've lost your trace, once again. I also cannot escape the feeling that the bachelor and the Haruspects, the two merciless strangers whom nature itself would command to eliminate each other, have joined forces to destroy me instead. Where are you? I am so worried about you. So that's the letter again from the twin, from the other Clara. Hello. Who is here? Who have they brought this time? Ah, it's the holy girl, sweet Clara, the harbinger. Why they put you of all people in here? You can't get the disease. Boy, I wish. Do give us your blessings and kisses. Give me your hands, let me touch you, and you, and you, and you too. There, no need to be afraid, nothing more will happen. And then I can say, yeah, so I think everyone has the same line, huh? So you can't talk to the kid. Can I just talk to the adults? No, you can talk to this kid, interesting. But it's the same, the same line every time. So, we'll leave here. The cathedral is clear. Everyone inside is alive and well. No evil passed this way. Capella will be relieved to know it was nothing more than a bad dream. What Capella doesn't know is that she just, as is often the case with these kinds of prophetic dreams, that she was the one who set the whole thing in motion, set the evil in motion, out of good intentions. But yeah, the Yakuza playthrough, I guess, probably at this point, I was just thinking of playing the rest of it, not on stream. I don't know if it's... I mean, it appeals to me, certainly. But I also think that maybe I would get more benefit still from just playing that one offline, by myself. And really just keeping this channel, for the most part, focused on horror. I think the big problem with the Yakuza playthrough in particular was really the length. I think the length of the game, and just my lack of time. I think if I had more time, if I didn't have the setup that I did, maybe I would have already finished both Yakuza and Pathologic, and I wouldn't be having this discussion right now. But yeah, I guess the tricky thing is sort of deciding stream-wise, how long I focus on a single game, particularly if that single game doesn't line up with and I say this with sort of a grim tone, branding, I certainly, I don't want to to limit myself, and if I was playing something that I was really feeling was good for my streaming style, that was really appealing, even if no one else was watching it, I would still continue to stream it. But I think, I've been reflecting on Yakuza, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe someone in the future will comment, but I've sort of I've been unsure that it is a good game for my particular style of streaming, which is concurrent analysis. And it just so happens that much of my background, much of what I'm interested in, right, is stuff that can be most easily seen in horror games. And maybe like horror games, let me also assure you that horror games, that's not all I play. Not sitting at home just playing horror games with every spare second. I'm playing a lot of different genres of all kinds, and it so happens that maybe horror in general will sort of, when I play it, it will be the focus of the channel, and will sort of give me more opportunity to share both sort of blind playthroughs and analysis, sort of reflections and that kind of thing. And again, it's not like I'd play every horror game that I have blind on stream, but I think at this point, it makes sense. I've sort of, over the course of the year, right, I've been discovering what I'm good at, and I think the first Pathologic playthrough really helped me understand that, and more experiments and sort of successive streams have also really helped me understand that. And I think there's also a lot of interest in unpicking a good narrative for both me and the audience. Quickly, we better hand this question.
Father has been avoiding me lately. Strange.
Probably because you're speaking like a robot. So what is it? What's happening at the cathedral? I've been to the cathedral. There were plenty of people there, all of them alive and well. I didn't see a single infected person, aside from myself. There'd be none to see in any case. They say it strikes at once. One faints before one can take 3 steps. Only someone special, someone like Barack, Simon, or a bound person, can withstand the sickness for a long time. Are you at ease now? Yes. Yes, insofar as it's possible to be at ease now. Sometimes I'm glad my dreams don't always come true. And Maria, have you seen Maria? I have. Did she abuse you, or was she kind? You didn't mention my name, did you? No, absolutely not. I should even say it was an enlightening visit, and I'm most content with how it turned out. Cool, so we get 5,000 coins. I'm going to nip across the road to the chemists. I'm going to see if they have anything for me that would lower my infection. Okay, yeah. Take that one. Immediately blow some of our hard-earned money. That'll help. And we're just going to go to sleep for like an hour to lower our exhaustion just a tad more. And then we're going to immediately set off to the theatre and watch Mark's performance. Cool. So how did the town do today?
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
Alright. So what do we got today? Just the one infected district today. Right here. And a bunch of abandoned districts, but by and large the town is looking fairly clear, which is nice. Alright. Dodge this guy. Don't know how many of these guys we've killed by now, but pretty high body count for these robbers. Or these knife salesmen, as it were. They don't really seem to, they just weren't programmed to fight Clara's ranged miracle hands. And I mean, it's like, how can anyone predict that? But it's definitely a limitation of the engine. certainly. That we're not getting anything like that. No, they don't come up to you and actually attack you. They just sort of stand there from a distance, and then slowly advance. Maybe if they're feeling confident, but most of the time they are not. They're sort of they barely have time to wonder why their insides are exploding before Clara's powers kill them. I mean, it's sort of, the spawning is a bit spotty as well. It's sort of hard to determine, where and how they spawn, but that's alright. Okay, let this play.
So much blood was spilled. Spilled? You mean by accident? Something you had nothing to do with? It had to be done so that we could move forward. We're on the path to victory. Don't you agree? We are. Now we know how to fight Sunpest for real. False rumors have been disproven. It's no demon. These are just tiny particles that die quickly if they can't bite into hot blood.
People fear Katarina's prophecy.
People only fear bloodshed when it's their blood and their shed.
Blood. Blood is nothing but a nutrition. He who sows blood reaps a ripe harvest.
One of my favourite quotes, certainly. People only fear bloodshed if it's their blood and their shed. Absolutely fantastic. Cool. Okay. So a lot of mournfulness.
Yes.
Bothering you, that's odd. This is certainly, we're really smack bang in the middle of it now. Sort of unsure about what is to happen next and where the town goes from here. But we'll just go back to the rod and see Clara's adoptive parents. And hopefully we can sort of ascertain, what's been going on. Okay. So let's see. Grab that. Another robber. I guess there must just be in the code buried some percentage chance of someone spawning, and then percentage chance within that of what kind of townsperson spawns. That was how that would be how I would do it. Hey Nosikta, how you doing? Caught one of my random moments of being able to stream. Good to have you here. Okay, so we'll just return to Alexander and see if he has anything to say. Otherwise, Clara should probably just get some more sleep, I think. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the current, you enjoy the streams, and happy to, work around the current madness that is my schedule at this time of year. But I am really hoping that I can do more. I'm hoping next week, in particular, to be able to get a good, lengthy stream in.
You shouldn't have put so much at stake. There's nothing we can do now.
Clara, have you heard what happened at the cathedral? What, like an hour ago? No, what? People who'd been in the streets and faced the threat of infection were being sheltered at the cathedral, per the bachelor's orders. He had had something in between a shelter and an isolation ward set up there. Last night, a disease carrier infiltrated it and infected the entire crowd with sand plague. That's horrible, she says, knowing full well that she was probably the most likely person to do that. Are they all dead? Yes, almost 400 people. And I have no doubt that the real culprit behind our present calamity is going to meet her end today. Who could it be? I'm positive that a certain Yulia Lyra Shaver is the perpetrator. Items belonging to her have been found at the cathedral. Waste no time, or she will escape the reckoning. Expose that warlock, or else somebody will warn her, or accuse someone else, yes? Will you and Katerina love me as before? Will you not give up on me if they ask for my head? Who would ever demand that from us? I am the governor. The Kanes are devastated by the loss of Simon. I've just found out that the Olgimskis are equally devastated. The Termitary affair has come to light in view of the Inquisitor's arrival tomorrow. You are our heiress. You will carry on when we are no more. Who could tell me how to approach Yulia? She is fond of Ava, and Ava, it seems, is fond of her. Try talking to Ava. I'll try. Alright. So after another early start for Clara in the morning. But what we're going to try and do is head over and deal with so we got to see Ava, because of course she's in the one infected district. That's how Pathologic likes to play it. The plague is certainly sentient, or at least has incredibly bad habit of knowing exactly where we need to go on any one day. What's my infection looking like again? Yeah, it's creeping up again pretty quick. Really do need to find some smouter today. I feel like I'll be lucky though if I do. Just been terrible luck. But we'll just try and finish the main quest of this day today, and then the following time what we're going to do is try and do our best to hunt down a schmouter. Cool. So yeah, next week, if I do indeed have the time that I'm hoping I will, my plan is to, so I'd like to do another stream of this week, hopefully, but if I can't do that, it will be some more Pathologic, but otherwise, I would like to start a playthrough of the first Silent Hill, because then I'll have a playthrough of each of the original Team Silent Konami games on my channel, which I think will be important, will be a good step. Really still building out the catalogue of playthroughs. It's definitely something that I've made a lot of progress on this year. I'm trying to think if I did stream anything at all last year. I think it was just Silent Hill 4, Silent Hill 2, and Pathologic. I don't seem to recall I streamed anything else. But no, I've been glad for the variety this year. There's a little parade going on over there. Why do you people just tempt fate so much just by, it's time for a nice lovely stroll where the plague clouds can assail me from a distance. Just gonna try and circumvent some plague clouds and that rat. Yep, okay, and now we've got the hunchbacks, Molotov cocktail wielding arsonists stalking the streets, who are slightly more difficult to deal with than our friends, the knife salesman.
What?
That wasn't you at the cathedral last night, was it? It was? No. What happened to the cathedral? Don't you know? A woman sneaked mysteriously into the cathedral at dawn, passing through walls and doors. She kissed the lips of everyone who was sheltered there and gave them gifts. They all died. And the things they were clutching in their hands, those were Yulia's belongings. But it wasn't Yulia, was it? Oh no. The main suspect is a completely different person. Look at that smile as she says, "Yes, Clara, it's you. And Yulia herself wants to talk to you." Will she agree to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? I think he'll be the one doing the answering, and don't try to mesmerize her. These things don't work on Yulia. She's a rationalist. Be careful not to let her trap you instead. Oh, how I'd like to have a frank conversation with her. Then seize the moment. She'll spill the beans now. I'll try. Okay, so just discovered that the tide of opinion, as it often does for poor Clara, is turning against her, but this time for reasons perhaps that are at least somewhat justified. Even if it wasn't us who ultimately spread the plague in there, though it very likely was, we were at least there, so these rumours have a basis in truth. Even though we did try and sort of mesmerise the guards, that didn't really seem to work, did it? Or it worked for a time. Okay, we're gonna check inside a house, and we're gonna see if we can get a schmouter or just anything that's good trading. Hello, child. Okay, good. There's some stuff in here I can steal. Stuff in here I can just look at, not take. What's that on your little palms? Have you been playing in the mud? Found anything interesting? Something that may be of use to me, perhaps? Bullets. I still don't have a gun. I must have missed I swear there's a gun you can get from the main quest, just like you can with the Bachelor, but I must have missed that opportunity. Hello. What's that in your eyes? Here, look at me. You said you'd play with me yet, and they say you'll be caught tomorrow. Did you tell a lie then? What are you talking about? If I hear that again, I'll grab you, cook you, and give your legs to the Odongs. Oh, I thought he was about to start running away. I thought that would have been a nice little scripted moment. Since we already know each other, how about we trade? Little girl, you're supposed to have a schmouter. Tell me about the Tagler. It's a game about a circle. You join hands, and then again and again and again, until the end. End? What end? Until the circle closes. That's the end of the game. Alright, bye pumpkin. Good luck with your circle. That's our objective as well, right? Is to close the circle. So we just take the thing of milk off the table, and then the lady saw us, so she panics. Take the meat and the water. Lady saw us, she panics. You just can't let any of the male NPCs see you taking anything, because otherwise they will immediately attack you. It's certainly interesting that they coded it that way. So if I was to take that, she didn't notice because she didn't have line of sight on me. But if I was to take these crackers, for instance, she's gonna cower in fear because I took a negative action. But there's sort of there's nothing she does that attacks me or anything. Whoa, he almost got me. As a first. Could have killed me just walking right out. And after that lovely meal that the people of the house treated me to. Look at the way his body sort of elasticates as you hit him. Becomes stretchy. Okay, we're gonna try one more house here. Because we might as well. Greetings, good sir. Don't mind me. I'm definitely allowed to be in here. Cool necklace. And since she doesn't see, really it's just based on line of sight for whatever reason. They can't hear you going through the drawers or anything like that. Another lemon because, that's definitely what I need. Just robbing these poor families of their lemons and their 2 coins. I'm sure they'll be fine. 3 coins. Now I think it's if you open a cabinet that has something in it, even if you don't take it, that's enough to trigger hostility from characters, I seem to recall. So you just sort of got to be careful and scope each room out first before you even open a cabinet or anything like that. man, I really love love the level of detail within each house. Even if each house, is reused and has this limited number of models. I mean, there's something extraordinary about this space. Just being able to be sort of wandered around freely. I don't know what it is but about the colours and the textures. Almost all of them within this game are chosen perfectly. I mean, just the textures within the cracks in the ceiling, for instance, and this weird little light that doesn't even seem to be on. The candle holders, is it meant to be electricity? But it sort of barely seems functional. And just this sparse, uncomfortable looking furniture. I mean, it all just adds to it. And what a lot of people will think probably in response to that is, well, it's in some sense, the blocky textures are a limitation of the time, and that's true. They are. But also, even if it wasn't a deliberate choice, you can still appreciate and analyze the effect that it has on mood and on gameplay. It's still important to consider all these different things when you're looking at a game like this. You can really delve into the minutiae of really everything that you see. For instance, doesn't this just look like the worst bed, in existence? Terrible, no pillow, no nothing, just in these two like sheer headboards, each of them like cliffs. But the sparse nature of each house adds to it. It's really it's totally almost an alien place, and very, you get the sense that much of life here is subsistence. That there's a lot that you simply wouldn't be able to help these people out with. And that's really quite humbling, I think, in a sense, is that you realize that you can't help all of these people, and you're making decisions that will benefit only some of them. And it's certainly important to consider that. And this wonderful sort of arced window, it sort of, it really makes me wish it could almost, be a tourist destination somehow. That if only there was a way to travel to the town and just sort of pay it a visit, and I don't know what it'd be, rent out a house for a little while, sort of see just how sort of cold and decrepit, really get the temperature, because I sort of imagine these houses to be quite cold, right? And just again, just this scarce, sparse feeling just throughout the whole thing. Damn, he's looking at me. I don't think it's worth going through that. This, we can go up another floor. Do you have anything? No, just more bullets. What about you, actually? What do you have? Hi there, do you know how to play Reflections? You don't seem like an ordinary girl. I wonder what you look like coming out on the other side. Just consider the thing standing before you a reflection of mine, and I myself am already far, far away. We actually want to barter, but... Do we want to barter 6? Not yet. We'll see if there's any hope of a Schmouder from this house, but I doubt there will be, right? I don't think there will be. I don't know, this area here is almost my favorite area, and just drop this kerosene, I don't really need it. My favorite area in any of these sort of stock houses. Everything about it is, just sort of really desolate ugly, but also really, it sort of exudes this feeling of solitude. And I guess that's really, it's. I would like to say one day that there's a space that's sort of truly my own, that I haven't merely inherited or adopted or anything like that. That there's some space that sort of reflects myself, and I don't mean to say that whatever space that reflects myself would be this sparse, this sparse room in the attic that had barely any furnishings or anything like that. Did he see me through there? He's gonna come around this way, right? Yep. Just worried there for a second. I was about to get knifed. Alright. Hello. Now that you've come up close range, I'm unstoppable. It's when you're running, that's when I get worried. But if you stop doing that, if you just do your little shuffle, then we could do this all day. Thank you. Okay, we're going to try one more house. We've not had very good luck, have we? Which is, again, par for the course for this playthrough for poor old Clara. Let's see what we can get out of this. Anything? Fresh meat? Is there anyone watching? Oh, yes. Please. No. No one has any schmouters. It's getting desperate. We're getting a lot of food from this, though. I'm totally playing ethically and morally, and I mean that's a fault of, I guess you could say that's a fault of myself, right? But also what happens when you play a game so many times that I've gained an appreciation for this game on different levels than the appreciation I had for it when I first played it. I mean, it's I can sort of take a step back and enjoy it in a different way than I did once. Oh, he saw me. Oh. I don't want to kill him, but I might have to. Sorry, buddy. You're no match for my psychic powers. And maybe you are. Yeah, okay, that tanked their reputation big time. But yeah, it's really is a totally different feeling playing it now than playing it for the first time. Because I'm just, I'm thinking back to that first time, and everything felt new and really quite frightening as well. I was never sure what my decisions would do, whether people really were watching over my shoulder, what did reputation actually affect. These were things I just wasn't sure of, and I wasn't sure as well sort of how to game the system properly within these houses kind of thing, and I wasn't really sure how the combat was supposed to work, and really all of these questions. But then when once you play a game for long enough and you start to break it down and you start to really understand it, I think it's not necessarily a problem, but there's where the game starts to evolve into something different. And when a game starts to do that, I'm really left wondering, how do you, if ever, how do you reconnect to that original feeling of playing a game? And quite often, I mean, games that one plays that are, like your favorites, so you keep playing them over and over again to sort of understand them and appreciate them. If you're anything like me, it's a wonderful experience to do something like that, but also, fundamentally changes how you see the game. And like for me, like I still love this game, still, my favorite game most days. But you're always left wondering, like, how can I reconnect to that really glorious, first playthrough? And that first playthrough was a long time ago now as well. And I think, I've definitely like evolved as a player of video games, and part of that is thanks to Pathologic in the first place. That I feel that way. Like, Pathologic certainly was one of the first games to really challenge my outlook on what a video game could actually achieve, what it should be. And so, yeah, like, it's, again, it's not a bad thing, but I do wonder if there's any way to re-engage with a game at its most, like, raw and fundamental level. And personally, like, I don't think there is. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing, because every successive playthrough is a reread, and what rereads do is allow you to continually sort of author the work in new ways in response to the person that you are now, rather as opposed to the person that you were before. But a reread also, it comes with a baggage, because you're rereading it, you're reinterpreting it from the original version, from the original playthrough that you did, or the original read through, or watch of a film, or what have you. And your experience is really coloured by this reread, and by all the successive readings, or the preceding readings, sorry, that you'd done before. Because I remember, just this sort of feeling of like hopelessness. It was scrappy. Everything was really, really hard. I wasn't sure what to do, where to go, who to talk to. Not for certain anyway. I think that was the main thing. I wasn't certain about anything. I knew what the game was telling me to do, but I wasn't sure whether that was the right thing to do. And that's really why I play. Like, that's part of the reason why I fell in love with Ice Pick Lodge in the first place, was because they dared to tell me something that was actually, like, untrue. And that's especially the case with The Void. If anyone has played The Void, that's a remarkably, that game lies to you all the time, just through its teeth. It's just relentless, and it's amazing, really. I wish I was good enough at it to play it on stream. I think if I played it on stream, I would end up stalling the playthrough for a long time, because I finished The Void now a few times, but each time I've done so has been by the skin of my teeth, and by saving and reloading over and over again. And I'm just I'm not sure that would translate so well to a stream, but one day I could try it, and we could sort of see how it turns out. And one thing you might have noticed, if you're watching, you can see the reputation bar at the top right of the screen there, slowly ticking down, and that's sort of that's a result partially of we killed that guy, so we took a big hit. But a feature from now on, since that rumor is spreading about us, our reputation is like naturally dropping. And now I'm not sure who's spreading a rumor at 5:46 in the morning, but I'm an early riser, so maybe these people in town are also early risers. I should clarify, Clara is an early riser. I myself am not an early riser at all. I'm a night owl, very much the opposite. Hello, Yulia. How are you doing?
Someone's desecrated the tombs in the stone yard.
What a serendipitous encounter. Who are you, my angelic child? My name is Clara, and you must be Yulia. The Changeling, right? I've heard a lot about you. Let's talk. I hope the cigarette smoke is no major nuisance. For reasons quite obvious, I'd rather not open the window. Why the Changeling? Never mind. No particular reason. Do you have any business with me? I've come to get acquainted with you.
I should let some fresh air into the room, but I don't feel like it.
I like I guess that's something as well that I like about writing, which is often not translated into game writing, but it is this sort of sensory details can be really important. And I mean, I think I talked about how much I liked the mucus. The plague clouds being big sort of clouds of phlegm and mucus like flying towards you, screaming human faces, being their chosen image. But also just knowing that Yulia's house like smells quite strongly of cigarette smoke because she doesn't open the window because the plague's outside, obviously. It's a detail that really entrenches you in the world, and I struggle to think of. I guess for some games it can be very hard to do, but a lot of games really do rely on the visual aspect of the medium. They're trying to sell you an environment with the graphics alone, and what is often just as effective for me is just this really simple like, just take me down into just one sensory detail that isn't sight, because great like. I can see the graphics that you've constructed before me. I'm fortunate enough, to have vision, to also not have any sort of colorblind issues. Fortunate enough to be in that position. So like, I would like the game to go a step further and say, well, the room smells of cigarette smoke, and all of a sudden, I get a real sense of the room itself. I get a real sense of its character. And the kind of person that inhabits it. And I find that really important. I'm trying to think, there are, something like Silent Hill, which has, evolved almost to become this venerated, like untouchable sort of thing. I remember, like playing it these days, you sort of really do get a sense of like, this is almost like in terms of survival horror, like a holy text, and you sort of come to it with these really vaunted expectations. But then when you're playing it in the moment to moment, often all you really need is just like the sight of, the fog rolling outside the windows, and you just you get this sort of sense of cold. And I guess it's like it is a combination of colors, but also like descriptions of sort of. Just walking up to the wall and then having your character like observe it and sort of say, look, the wallpaper's peeling here or something, and that again gives it this character. And it's important to have not just this visual representation, but also if you can feed me some other information. So sound is another important one. This music, for instance, in Pathologic, really never gets old. I'm sort of listening to it constantly, and it's the perfect sort of thinking, talking music, but also the ticking of the clock really, sort of like, time is ticking, even though it's not actually, but there's this real sense of pressure behind the dialogue, behind what you're going to say. And even just the footsteps on the floor, just having different sound effects for that just tells me something about the world. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is like, I don't really give a crap if your game looks really old, or the visuals aren't up to modern scratch or whatever, which is like, this is an impossible game. It's a losing game really. You can't develop a game that will like always be cutting edge. You have to rely on other things, and what Pathologic does is it relies on the colors and the art style and the sound effects and just these little sensory details peppered within the dialogue, to really give you the feeling that you are inhabiting this world fully, and also creates the sort of timeless affect. Sorry, that was a long tangent. I hope it was interesting though. Yet again, I am graced by your visit, a genuinely fortunate occasion. Yulia, what happened at the cathedral? Wait a minute, is the cigarette smoke bothering you? Shall I open the window? Let us talk, Clara. Let us discuss fateful invariability. Where laws of nature are concerned, Clara, you are a salient exception. But what does it suggest? Who was at the cathedral? Do you really have to ask? The item they found in the cathedral was my present to you. There are people who saw me give it to you. They will testify if need be. What? I've never even seen you before. Tell your stories to someone else, my dear. I am impervious to your chicanery. I won't surrender you to the Inquisitor, although you shouldn't go back to the Sabarovs if you know what is good for you. You were proven guilty, and they have used your head as a guarantee to stay their own execution. It would appear the powers that be didn't value their accomplishments too highly. The Severovs have adopted me. They wouldn't believe such an absurd lie. The bachelor paid a visit to Alexander. He made an offer that Severov simply could not refuse. Well, they still have some affection for you, so I don't think they're going to have you arrested. However, you will no longer find shelter with them. Where will you stay? You can rest your head in my place if you agree to humour me with a heartfelt confession. Confession? I don't know anything about myself either. That's beyond question. Why else would I be so interested? All the evil deeds that I've been accused of were committed by my sister. Is that so? Who took my comb then, the one that was found in the cathedral? Who took Lara's shawl and Anna's jewellery? Who pled guilty to Alexander the day before? That was all her. The bachelor is an astute, perspicacious man. It's only a matter of time before he figures out which line of inquiry is most feasible. Before then, you could tell me, where does your sister stand in relation to you? How did she come to be? I doubt your inelegant fabrications were enough to bring her to life. But what am I to do? Depends on who is asking. If you are innocent, you should seek out the bachelor before he finds you himself. Speaking of which, a corpse was found yesterday, with its heart removed. A ghastly crime indeed, but the bachelor, he figured out an absolutely scintillating way to use it to serve his own ends. He compares the blood he took from the corpse to the other blood specimens he has collected. So, if you are guilty, you may rest assured that this is all going to end soon. If the guards were following you, they will be here any minute. I'll go and look for him. Okay, so we're going to go try Lara's house. And hopefully turn something up. We'll see. So our reputation is still, plummeting slowly in the corner there. And my infection is not looking any better at all. Cannot believe I was not, we haven't found any schmouters whatsoever. Just so unlucky. I can't remember if there's any... I feel like the opportunity to get Panacea in Clara's storyline comes up only towards the end through those side quests. Where, you have to find Bachelor for Haruspex. I guess that's really the, the hope. Is that one of those quest lines will bail me out. But we'll see if Bachelor's here. He might be up early as well.
It is not so dangerous to do wrong to most men.
So it really was you. No, it wasn't me. Hey. Perhaps he's here. So he's not here. So I guess we'll go to Anna's and Aspity as well. Okay. So I can't remember where to find him in this quest, so we'll just bounce between places. But it's like I went back sort of semi-recently, and I sort of read through a number of my earlier posts, some of which are now unpublished on my website in regards to this game. And I was, back off, buddy. I was sort of really struck, I guess, by my impression of how deflating I found the game at the time, and I mean that might speak to my personal situation as well. At the time, probably was not helping. But certainly, like I walked away from every play session of Pathologic, feeling like really desolate. Like everything I was doing sort of was having no effect. And I was barely scraping by. Survival was by no means a certainty. Everything I was doing, I found it very difficult to make it through day by day. And that's the intended experience of Pathologic. And you're supposed to feel this sort of sense of hopelessness, of defeat, of loss. Hello, Bachelor.
Too late now, it seems. To think victory was well within my grasp.
Here she comes. Got anything to say in your defense? And anyway, who are you? I am a miracle worker. I believe that. I'll introduce you to the Inquisitor tomorrow. Let her deal with you. You'll stay at Ava's place for the night. Under my surveillance, I suppose there'll be no objections. What about Ava? Ava? Ava's disappeared. I suspect that she's decided to turn herself into the Inquisitor instead of you, so she could whitewash me before that hanging judge. So, first thing tomorrow morning, we're going to see Karminski, and you're telling the Inquisitor everything. Then Ava will be saved. Do you understand? I'd rather go and search for Ava. Do you really think I'd let you go? I'll search myself, while you stay here under lock and key. Looks like I have no other options. Okay. So we've handed ourselves in. Does that stop the ticking reputation meter?
Truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil.
And be nice and quiet while you're in here. We're still enemies, Bachelor. Now, can we leave, or is it... So, what does the quest line actually say? It's all over, it seems. My mind struggles to understand this. Where is the Harbinger now? Who is the miracle worker? Has the Changeling changed? Or has the world? Were these 6 days filled with lies, or was there a grain of purest truth somewhere within? Hardly worth thinking about now. No choice but to wait till morning. Now, I'm hoping I've packed enough things to survive this long. So yeah, Ava is gone. But we're not going to sleep in Bachelor's bed, we're going to sleep in Ava's bed. But what we're going to do... So it's a good thing I looted some of these houses. I say, you know, because I'm a totally innocent person. So we're running out of bandages, which must be a first for my playthroughs. What we're going to do... Mirror Dorm. Yeah, we're just going to try and sleep. The infection's going to be the thing that I'm most worried about. We'll be able to make it through the rest of the day fine. So the morning of the 6 days come. Infected yesterday 180, died yesterday 144, gone missing 18, death toll 864, and currently infected 337. Day 6, fateful for the Changeling who loses everything in the beginning but gains a lot by the end of it. Okay. Now I can't remember. Can we actually leave? Or is it... No. Okay, so he has locked the house. Do we get a letter? Come to me, I'm waiting for you. You'll find me hidden over there at the very edge of it. The child who sees me in her dreams and hears what the dead will tell her will bring us together again. I want to talk to you. I want to protect you from trouble, to defend you from false friendships. For I'm the best and the only friend you still have. We're much alike. Come to me. I don't think we can leave, though, unless we get to leave in the evening. I'm going to go up and chat to the Bachelor again real briefly. But I don't think he has anything extra to say. Hello.
Too late now, it
Yeah.
seems.
I'm not my own enemy. So the Bachelor's just babysitting. So we'll just go back to sleep again. Actually, no. We need some more painkillers. Or at least stave off death. But you can see, yeah, climbing dangerously high here. So we're just sleeping through like the whole day. I guess I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have turned myself in so quickly, but I'd forgotten that, turning yourself in does sort of lock you in this house for the entire day. So that is my bad. But that's alright. We're just going to power through, and then we got to get out of here and find some antibiotics stat. Okay, wake up. See, that was the sound of the door unlocking. I don't know if anyone could hear that.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain intact. A new mime performance is being
This
rehearsed.
headache is splitting. I need some rest.
Well, looks like it's time. Get to the cathedral. Beware of everybody in your way. Hide from every shadow. When the Inquisitor receives you, speak only the truth. Not that you'll have another option. I always speak only the truth. Here, take some money. You might need it. If you're arrested and convicted, I'll know. Then I'll try to arrange for your life to be spared. By what means? If you really did spread the disease, I'll ask for you to be taken to the Thanatica for experimentation. Perhaps I'll have better luck getting you out of this miracle-abounding hellhole than I did with Simon. Thank you. 1,000. Cheapskate. Not going to be able to afford anything with that. I mean, thank you, Bachelor. Yeah, I'm very grateful to you. Okay, I'll get this awesome cutscene. I don't know why I remembered Clara's Day 6 having more components to it. I'm just glad I had enough resources to survive the Bachelor locking me inside, though I wish he'd, given me some antibiotics or something. I'm gonna have to scoff a bunch of them. It's not gonna be good, I don't think. I need to find a drunk who's actually gonna give me some bandages. I've had really bad luck recently. Rarely has a character ever made a better entrance than that. You know what she's all about straight off the bat. Cool. So then we get, we're getting there. So we're on day 7 now. That was quick, wasn't it? We're gonna beeline, not quite for the cathedral first. We're gonna see if they have any antibiotics at all in this pharmacy. Hello. Get lost. No, that's right. So you won't trade with me, but I'm visibly dying, so hopefully, these guys are going to try and kill me, for instance. So I'm just going to try and get into the cathedral as soon as possible, because I'm in an awful situation. Okay, maybe they're not gonna kill me? My reputation need to be a mite lower for that. You again. I need to see the Inquisitor. So you've escaped. Don't tell me they let you walk. The orders were to hang you by the neck until dead. What? Who are you talking about? Weren't you trying to get to the Inquisitor just now? I suppose that didn't turn out well in the slightest. You weren't even allowed to present yourself to her gracious ladyship. Be thankful there's no armed guard around the cathedral right now. They ran off for a moment to escort you to the gallows. What was I arrested for? You are being hunted, aren't you? They did, however, get a bit ahead of themselves there. At least they should have announced you to the Inquisitor. Well, the good goons went out of their way to be useful. They'd failed to catch the man-eater back when they reported to Sabarov, so they went for something quick and dirty this time. What can I do to keep my cover? Whatever. Stop pestering me. Although, I reckon the Inquisitor wouldn't mind talking to you, but until you've made your introduction, it's best to remain incognito. You know what? Give me your costume. No, there's no way I'm giving you mine. I can tell you where to find another one like it. When executives' cloaks become infected, they get dumped next to the large burial pit in Earth. Wait for me. Okay. So he recommends that we go and get ourselves an outfit. I don't know if we have time for that. Can we go in? No, we can't. Yes, me again. Okay. I can't remember. Does this guy tell us where the hat is? No. Okay. Well, we're just gonna go over there and see if we can find it. And quick too, because you can see we're in a bad way. We've got to hope we can find someone to trade with, because it's not looking good on basically any front. Except at least I can eat some stuff and stave off the hunger. That's fine, so we can deal with that, but infection and reputation are bad. Health is also not good either. Quickly bandage that up. We got 1 bandage left. Not looking good at all. It's alright. It's more exciting. I'm gonna play for another 15 minutes or so, and then I will have to shoot off to the next thing. But hopefully we can get this cloak and at least recover ourselves a little. So the town is back to being incredibly infected, unsurprisingly. But wait, so what did it say? The infected district is the place to search. She appeared before me in a dream, looking scared and miserable. She said, they persecute me, they hunt me, they try to track me down. They're so close to capturing me that I had to change my hideout 4 times in a single day. I'm covering up here at the brink of town, where they won't find me so easily. From the windows I see 2 bonfires being lit, trying to smoke me out. They're going to put a watcher atop the ruined stairway, surrounded by columns. Okay, so I can see 2 bonfires. So I'm thinking it's got to be this one, right? Or one there, thereabouts. Like this one here. We'll have a look. So, this is, surrounded by columns. 1 bonfire. Can we see another? Yes, 2 bonfires. So what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and find... Oops. We're going to try and find Clara inside here. I can't remember where exactly she decides to make her home, but we can't exactly get much more infected. So, you know, that's alright. Clara... Not in this one, maybe she's in the other one. Oh, don't get stuck on the stairs. Nothing in there. Okay, yeah, we'll try on this one. Maybe she's, you know, indicating that she's closest to the edge of town. Yeah, everything is really hard to see and identify within these infected houses. Which is obviously the point. All look really horrible and decrepit. So we had to talk about that last time. I think everyone sort of felt the same way, that the town was utterly miserable. Hello.
I'm sick. The world is going dark.
Such an eerie experience here, talking to yourself. Being here is such a torment. This place is cold, gloomy, full of pain, and worst of all, devoid of the slightest warmth or comfort. How can anyone be made to suffer this for so long? Why did you do this to us? Why don't you just resolve everything already so we could be out of here? Who are you? I must be dreaming this. No, I'm not. So you're real? I'm a real person, alright. The real person. Then we should part ways quickly before something bad happens. Except I don't want to let you go, even though I'm afraid to touch you. I feel sorry for you, and hence I love you, my dear sister, maybe more than any living being on this earth. I love you too. You're so sweet, such eyes. They're not like mine at all. You need to leave at once. See, the whole place is infected. You know as well as I do that the infection won't do anything to me. I can't go anywhere now. I'm now hated by those who used to love me. They torture me, they burn me, and hurl stones at me. I have to hide. Why is it that any place you visit becomes infected? Oh, how is that my fault? I come here because I need a place to hide from those who are out hunting me. They've got fire and steel, their henchmen are ferocious, and what do I have to stave them off with? Only this. They're too scared to get closer. Those who've remained faithful to me can't do anything to protect me. Who are those faithful? Simple folk, commoners, outcasts, non-bounds, but they've been unafraid of him who's been my only friend all this time, him who's taken the blow for me. They're taking care of him, of this absurd and impossible creature, a living being made of dead matter. They didn't turn him into a scapegoat for all their sins and murders. I know who you're talking about. It's that albino, the creature from the steppe. She has left the district. The disease will follow the changeling soon, leaving this place. The district, thus purified, will surely make a fine present for the Inquisitor. However, some of the townsfolk still take her for a saint instead of a villain. These places, where people are still devoted to her, are where I must search. Cool, so we cleared her out. I was really worried we were going to take, like, fall damage from that jump. But no. Okay. Don't kill me, please. Thank you. Alright. So yeah, I think if we didn't clear her out, this district would remain infected. And I think that's why this one has remained infected, is because we didn't find where she was. And I mean, she was at Grace's lodge, I think. So it's a shame that, we didn't get to have that discussion because the Bachelor had grounded us, had locked us indoors, but that's alright. We will, manage with the context we've got for this playthrough. It's the kind of thing, I hope to be comprehensive with these playthroughs, but more often than not, inadvertent things will stop this playthrough being completely comprehensive. But that doesn't stop me, from saying, like, in 5 years' time, starting the whole experiment all over again and seeing, if I again have more to say about the game, when I have, transformed into a new person, as Georgie would probably liken it, if I sort of elevate myself to larvae, elevate myself from my current larvae status and become something more it could certainly be an interesting thing to do, even just to reflect on one character, say in a few years' time, to see if we had anything new to say, because these aren't the kinds of games that could be like here's it's my annual playthrough of Pathologic. It's just too long to do something like that, at least in my current position. My streaming setup doesn't really allow for that kind of thing. I'd love to stream more, I really would. It's just a commitment, which is really an understatement. But it is a commitment every time to stream. So I'm really glad that people do enjoy these streams, particularly Pathologic, because I certainly as much as I've branched out these days a bit from the roots of my channel, I never want to forget that when it all started, Pathologic was at its heart, and I want to keep that focus for as long as possible, and certainly look forward to playing the new Bachelor campaign when it comes out. Cool. So we got the cloak here, so we're going to go back. Do we get any other letters? Yeah, no. So we just got that other one. She appeared to me in a dream. So we can at least dispel that. I'm going to see if we can get back and have this conversation with the Inquisitor, and then end it there. I'm really hoping the Inquisitor conversation boosts reputation, because otherwise I've got some serious work to do for next time. Got my work cut out for me, really, because if I can't buy antibiotics, then I'm kind of screwed, really. What I should do is, what districts are infected? Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to spawn. No one's going to spawn at this time. That's alright. What I'll do is just go back to the Inquisitor. And I'm going to put my cloak draws attention but removes any desire to talk. Provides no protection from infection. But aromatic antiseptics are inside the beak. But much like, what was it, lavender that medieval doctors put inside their masks? Doesn't do very much good against the infection. I found it was a fascination of mine when I was younger. Sort of medieval attempted cures for the plague. I think it was the Pope at Avignon. They thought that the air itself, much as it does in this game, sort of carries the plague. And so what they did was, as far as I understand it, they built sort of 3 or 4 large bonfires, and the Pope simply, he sat in between all of these bonfires. You can just imagine, just this very important religious figure just sort of sitting in between these raging fires, and the smoke sort of pluming high up into the sky. And they thought that would dispel the toxic air that was carrying the plague from reaching the Pope. And of course, it did stop the plague from reaching him, because what rat or what flea would want to brave this incredibly scorching heat, and dare to even go near the Pope, which was so fascinating. And I don't know if this one had any truth to it, but I remember there was sort of this, people attempted to cut a pigeon in half, and place each half, I think it was on the feet or something, as though that would ward it off. And I mean, it's I guess the thing is that, like, when I was younger, in a sense, it was kind of there was a humorous side to it, and in a sense there sort of still is now. But I guess now when I look at it, I really just see from those, like, real desperation, just people who are frightened, who weren't sure if there was any way that they could be saved from this horrible disease which had like completely ravaged just everything around them. And these cures, which sound silly to us, just you can just imagine the appalling circumstances, what people were driven to, and this is the sort of the context that this game is situated in. Is really desperation, and I think that's what this game sells very well to the player. Is this real feeling of desperation. I'm just trying to go into these houses to avoid the guards, but it's not working very well. I don't know, am I going to make it? I don't know. Reputation has plummeted just enough to the point where they're going to attack me on sight. Okay. So I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to sneak past this guy. Yeah. Okay, go this way. Just gotta make it to the executors. Just gotta get some reputation back. It's absurd how terribly this is going now. Can't believe the Bachelor decided to lock me in that house. Didn't even give me any antibiotics. So rude. Okay, yeah, you stay preoccupied with that person. I will, I'll go see the Inquisitor. Oh, crap. Help. You again. How'd you recognize me? It's simple. No other executor would approach the cathedral from that direction at this time. You are the Changeling. Don't you fret, I won't turn you in. Can I see the Inquisitor now? The Inquisitor is conducting an interrogation right now, torturing the Kane elders. Come afternoon. See what comes out of your visit. That won't be a long wait. Are you serious? Help. Oh god. Come on, come on, come on. No! This isn't good at all. Leave me alone. I haven't done anything to you. Oh, they're all locked. Whoa. No. Jumped on his head. Okay. Where can I go? Where can I go? If I kill him, I'll just tank my reputation even further. Oh, but he's gonna kill me. Can I get into the clothing store? No, I can't. Damn. Okay. Things have gotten pretty serious for poor Clara. I hadn't saved in a little while. That's right. So next time what we'll do is we'll run through that stuff again. This is all easy. And then yeah, we'll just continue on with the day. I need to come up with a strategy on how I'm going to get some antibiotics. How I'm going to outlast this plague. It's not looking good at the moment, but we'll figure something out. But thanks everyone for watching. Sorry it has to be another truncated stream. Hopefully I can stream again soon, later this week. If not, I'll see everyone. I will see everyone next week. Hope everyone has a great week ahead. Really appreciate it. Catch you all later.